2020 has been an amazing year for the gaming world, and we barely experienced half of what is planned to come. The PlayStation 5 is set to come out later this year, and the current generation of gaming consoles are also coming to an end. It is pretty exciting. Sucker Punch and Sony managed to close out the PlayStation exclusives for the current generation in an amazing game, and it couldn't have been any better. Ghost of Tsushima is one of the best PlayStation exclusive games, if not one of the best games the world has seen in a while. I'm pretty sure that everyone who got the game has completed the main quest line by now, and if not, please do, it's an absolute treat. The game is an amazing piece of art, and please do check out my spoiler-free review to find out what I liked and disliked the most about the game. So what lies ahead of the Ghost of Tsushima? It is pretty obvious that Sucker Punch will be looking into the future of the Ghost of Tsushima as a franchise or as a series because it was really successful. The game went on to becoming the fastest selling PlayStation exclusives IP by selling more than 2.4 million units in the first 3 days. That says how successful it was, and Sucker Punch is sure to be making sequel or at least extra content for it in the very near future. So talking about the future of the game or the series, there are a few questions to ask, and I will be discussing them throughout this video. Is there anything coming at all? Well, the answer to that is pretty simple. Yes, let's admit it. Ghost of Tsushima is Sucker Punch's best game up to date, and they will be surely be going after it. The sales were good, the game was amazing, and the feedback was also pretty good. So Sucker Punch only got reasons to continue the series, not drop it. However, we can be certain that there won't be a game in the same universe as Ghost of Tsushima anytime sooner. But the good news is that the dev team is currently working on patching up the game to perfection, and recent updates have been added like a new difficulty mode. Even though Sucker Punch officially stated that they aren't working on a new game right now. There have been recent job listings at the studio, possibly hinting a new project which might be a brand new game or even a DLC. Till official news comes out about the sequel or even a DLC, let's just hope that Sucker Punch adds even more content like armor and weapons to the game with the patchings. Will there be a sequel at all? Ghost of Tsushima is one of the best games we've got to play in a very long time. The game is rich, with a decent story and great characters. The fans absolutely loved it. As I said, there's no reason for Sucker Punch to drop the franchise, but to continue it. The game takes you on a roller coaster of emotions when Jin grinds his way through the Mongolians to only have his uncle and mentor killed by his own hands. That's of course up to your decision to make. The story ends when Jin becomes a wanted man who is on the run. It is the perfect ending to the game, but there might just be a better endgame lying in the future. Sucker Punch has the complete freedom to have Jin unfold his legacy as the Ghost in a sequel or go with a new character altogether. Either way, I don't really think anyone will be disappointed because Sucker Punch made a good decision in this one. So part 2 will probably be even better. Will there be a new Ghost? Another question that comes to the mind when talking about a sequel of the game, it is if it's really going to be on Jin again. Jin is an amazing character, and how things ended in the game kind of gave me a feeling that there is going to be a new protagonist. Who knows? A concept that is famous these days is Yuna being a possible protagonist of the next game. Yuna was a very likable and skilled character in the game, and she really does have the potential of being a protagonist. This topic was brought up in the interview by Kinda Funny Games between the Ghost of Tsushima's creative director, Nate Fox. What he had to comment on it was just that he definitely thinks Yuna as a ghost, and that she has the potential to go alongside Jin. But the way he said it makes me feel like it isn't going to happen. It is possible that Jin won't make an appearance in the game next because the story of Tsushima seems to be over. Don't get me wrong, Jin is a great character and I personally would love to play as him again, but another story on the island of Tsushima seems like a downgrade as other invasions by the Mongols didn't have much importance on the island. And the best probable thing is the next game being set on a whole new island or even a big famous city. But if Jin's story is to be continued, there are still possibilities of delivering a good narrative where Jin lives his life as a fugitive and maybe assist in defeating the second invasion by the Mongols, but in a different island.
And I'm taking it over.
What will be the location and the setting? Well, that brings us to the next question. Will the game be featured on Tsushima? Ghost of Tsushima tells the story about an island, an exceptional samurai warrior in it. The game ends in a way making the player feel satisfied with the plot and the ending. So that leaves us with a question. Will the sequel be on another island? That is the most probable prediction, as the game series might just be Ghost after all. The game title logo also kind of confirms that the main title is just Ghost. So the sequel could be anything: Ghost of Honshu, Ghost of Amakusa, Ghost of Tsushima, and the list could go on forever. However, even though Jin and his story are fictional, Ghost of Tsushima brings a lot of historical accuracy to the game. This includes like architecture, culture, and even some of the characters. So if the sequel goes with a different island, the island itself should have a bit of a historical value and astounding beauty. Jin's story is set in the late 13th century and brings the relevant culture and accuracy throughout various elements. Sucker Punch has a freedom to go with any different time period, which suits the island and the characters they go with, if Jin isn't connected in any way. An invasion of the Tsushima island by Mongols in 1274 is depicted in the game. According to the history of Yuan, there also has been a second invasion by the Mongols in 1281. A sequel of the game could also be based on the second invasion. This invasion was aimed at regaining the power of the lands that Mongols lost to the Japanese, even though Tsushima fell to the Mongols quickly. Samurai were sent into the ships of the Mongols during the nighttime to kill as many as they could before the dawn. The Japanese ultimately won with this sneaky tactic and with the help of the massive typhoon called kamikaze. This could have been a way to bring back Jin in another game. However, the second invasion seems anticlimactic and probably won't have a major play on the island of Tsushima. Or Lady Sanjo could come back to play a major role. Questions related to the Ghost of Tsushima 2, or rather Ghost 2. The next Ghost game could be from a different time, portraying a different state of Japan or a different island, or it could be the same universe and time period as Jin, featuring him himself or character we've seen in the game like Tomoe or Yuna. Even though we might not get to experience a brand new game of the franchise for at least another 2 years, I'm pretty sure there'll be something for the fans in the meantime. Sucker Punch seems to be still focusing on their latest releases, fixing bugs and stuff, but they could also be working on a DLC. I know a DLC is unlikely to come considering how things ended, but there still is a little bit of a possibility. PlayStation 5 is coming later this year, and even though the game is backwards compatible from day one, Sucker Punch might be enhancing the game to utilize the potential of the PlayStation 5 technology. A DLC might also be made to accompany that upgrade, and it could be about the Jin's chronicles as a fugitive or even a pirate alongside the Lady Sanjo. What do you think is going to happen with the next Ghost of Tsushima game? Will it feature the same island, the same protagonist, or will it feature a completely different setting and a ghost? Well, thank you so much for watching. Ravenstar, thank you for the continued support on my Patreon. And if you wish to support me, the links are down below in the description and of course in the pin down the comment. Like and subscribe, have a wonderful day. When Jin grinds his way through the Mongolians to only have his uncle and mentor killed by his own hands. What the fuck?